Hi, this is Roy Ryer from SEO Training, SW.com. And I just flew in a special guest from Scottsdale out here to my home and offices here in Morristown. And I flew him out here not because it's a long distance away. It's just really on the other side of Phoenix. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to bring him out here and for you to hear his story, exactly what's been going on in his life this past week, because it's a truly amazing story. Kevin, what's been going on, man?
Well, I'll have to say it was a great ride out. I enjoyed flying in a small plane for the first time. But I'll tell you, it was a little bit of a bumpy ride. And I compare that to my life over recent years. My life hasn't turned out the way I expected it to be. I went to school and got my MBA degree and thought that that was my ticket to the good life and that I'd be making a couple $100,000 a year as an MBA. But the economy took a radical change. And in the process, my MBA really became rather useless and worthless. And we've had, for the past 2 or 3 years, we have struggled so much because I've been unemployed, unable to find a job, and my wife's been supporting us, but her income really wasn't enough to supply what we need. And so my parents have helped us out financially. We've even had to go to our adult daughter and ask her to help us with rent. It's just been that bad.
Is this a quick rich scheme?
Not in the least bit, not at all. This is a legitimate opportunity to earn money. The other programs really offered, pie in the sky, and they sound great when you read them in an email and you go to the website and you watch the promotional videos. But in reality, you get the product that you've spent hundreds or thousands of dollars on, and you realize that to make money off those products, you're just going to have to work hours and hours on end, and you'll still never see the profits they promised you.
Honestly, guys, I'm a little disappointed in you, Kevin. When you sign up for a program such as this, you're supposed to start at Module 1, take Module 2, take Module 3. You did not do that.
No.
You took half of Module 1 and skipped completely ahead to Module 6 without even watching Module 6.
Yeah.
Explain to what happened.
I figured this was an opportunity to test the water and just see how easily this concept would be to sell. I sent an email to the VP of Business Development, and it was kind of a generic email, and he then responded eventually, and then I wanted to really give him an idea, and so I gave him more of an idea without giving away how the system works. He got so excited that he sent me back a note that they were very, and very was in capital letters, very interested, and they wanted to meet with me no later than the end of the week. This was high on their agenda.
I'm going to kind of encapsulate exactly what this program is all about. And Local Niche Power is basically a strategy that Andrew Polanski has basically put together. Andrew went through our formalized training, our affiliate marketing training. He spent a couple days out here for that. He spent a couple days out here for our local marketing. And what Andrew did was basically take these hours and hours and hours of his training and combine that into a program, his strategy, which he's been very successful with. Andrew himself, over the last 3 months, has made $450,000 with this program. So basically, he's taken hours and hours of video, or hours and hours of training, I should say, and created 8 15-minute modules that have content, PDF supporting documents. You've been through, now that even though you skipped ahead from Module 1 to Module 6, you've now come back and watched some of the other modules. What do you think of the training?
The training is, the bottom line, a strategy that is usable. There is not a person that couldn't take this strategy and make it work for them.
You said something very interesting to me, Kevin, that you're not a salesperson.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me, why you said that?
Well, in the past, I've realized that the only way to make money, it seemed, was to sell something, to pick up the phone, which I hate to pick up the phone and call people and try to sell something. And so I'm just not a salesman at all.
And so you contacted your first client with just one email.
One email is all I contacted.
And then he called you, or actually emailed you, and you set up the meeting. Yeah. And you met with this client yesterday. What happened yesterday?
I met with the VP of Business Development and the general manager, and in the process of explaining just the nuts and bolts of what I could do, they became so interested that, number one, they want the current company to utilize my services. And then secondly, they're starting their own company here in about a month, and they have already said that they're going to notify me when they're ready to go and want me to do the same thing for them.
To this one email, you met with the client yesterday. You have a product that you're going to be marketing for this client. And that product, from what I understand, we've talked about it, it's a $300,000 to $400,000 product. And you're getting 10% for each time somebody purchases this product. So you're getting basically a check for $30,000 to $40,000 for each sale you make.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit of money, Kevin.
Yeah, it is.
And they also have these other locations throughout the country, the same business. And I think there's really great opportunity here. How many do you reasonably expect to sell of these products every month?
If I'm conservative in my guess, I would say it'd be easy to sell 2 to 3. But the reality is they want to go to the Hamptons, Boca Raton, and different places, and this local niche power can set me up to where I can put that in local search in different cities around the nation. There's really no limit.
Okay, now you said set up. Basically, you have to design a website.
Yes.
And now you used the module 2, Andrew goes through on how to set up a WordPress website. In fact, has the tools and everything. How long did it take you to set up your first local niche power website?
I took about 4 hours to set up one. And then for each additional one, the time will just be less.
Because really what you're doing with that first one that you've created is basically duplicate that. All you're doing is saying, well, this one is in Boca Raton, this one's in the Hamptons, this one's in Phoenix, so all you have to do is edit the information, right?
Yeah, there'll be some original content, but for the most part, it's editing the site.
And then basically very easy to do. One thing that you found out, that successful people tend to flock with other successful people, correct? So your first client was golfing with another associate of his on Thursday, and after that, something transpired. Do you want to explain to our viewers what that was?
I got an unexpected email from this associate, this friend of the VP of Business Development. Totally different company and very successful. They're very successful. He sent me a basic email that just said, call me tomorrow, and gave me a cell phone number.
And you called him?
I called him, and we're not even going to meet face to face. Over the telephone, we discussed what the opportunity was that I could, the benefit that I could provide for them. And so they've decided, yes, they want to do it. And him and his business partner are just deciding to approve the commission.
Okay.
That's all.
So you have 3 that are pretty much in the bag.
Yes.
1 that's already signed, 2 that are in the bag. Now, next week, tell us about some of the other stuff you got going on, because you have contacted some other people.
Well, when I realized it was so easy, because it was for me. I'm not a salesman. I just sent out an email. I sent out an email to a couple of companies in Fountain Hills, Arizona, and they are interested. And then I have another company in Scottsdale that the VP of Business Development said, you have got to contact this guy and tell him what you're doing.
Now, just to explain what we're doing here, you're setting up local niche websites for local businesses. You can either get a commission, which you're doing on a $300,000 product, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Or you can lease the website. And these last 2 clients that you contacted, that you're meeting with next week, you're leasing that website to them, correct?
Yes.
How much are you leasing that website to them for?
I've determined that I will lease those sites for about $800. Over time, it's going to be obvious that they're more valuable than that. But right now, I'm going to lease them for $800 a month.
Because these are your websites.
I own them. I'm leasing them.
All right. So if your client decides not to pay you anymore, doesn't want you services, what are you going to do?
The bottom line is I can take these websites, which are non-branded, they're very industry specific, but they're non-branded. I can take that and I can go to another business in the same industry and just use it there.
So you basically say, hey, look, you don't want to pay me, fine. I'm going to pick up the phone, I'm going to call your competitor and give it to your competitor, right?
Yeah.
Hey, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Kevin, we have folks that are watching this video right now that are interested in taking the next step and basically duplicating what Andrew's done, making $450,000 in 3 months. duplicating what you've done, creating a 6, perhaps even 7-figure business in the course of this next year. So what would you recommend their next step to be?
I wouldn't procrastinate and try to decide if you're going to do this or some other opportunity. I would go straight ahead and go to localnichepower.com and check out, first of all, the information that's there. But I would not hesitate to tell you to sign up for this product, this program. It's a training program. I've already been telling my friends around the country about it and to get them to go to Local Niche Power for them to sign up. So you're not going to run into saturation. This market won't be saturated.
Kevin, thank you for coming out. And hopefully you trust me enough to get back in my airplane. I'm going to try to make it not as a bumpy ride for you back home. And guys, it's not going to be a bumpy ride for you either. This is a very simple step-by-step program that Andrew's put together. Go to the website, localnichepower.com. A lot of great information. If you have any comments or concerns, email me direct. My email is roy@seotrainingsw.com. Kevin, thanks for coming out, my friend.
Hey,
we'll get you back home. Thank you for watching.